Are you kidding me? Did I just read that right? Are the Golden State Warriors seriously considering trading away their heart, their soul, their defensive bulldog Draymond Green? This isn't just a rumor. It's a potential gut punch that could leave Dubs fans feeling absolutely sick to their stomachs. Let's dive into this madness, shall we? A trade that could make you throw up Green for Towns. As the offseason kicks into gear, it seems the Golden State Warriors are leaving no stone unturned in their quest to maximize the remaining prime years of the legendary Stephen Curry. We all understand the urgency, the need to tweak the roster, to find that missing piece that can propel them back to championship contention. But some ideas are just plain wrong. Enter a recent trade simulation cooked up by Jonah Kubicek of NBA Analysis Network. Now, usually these simulations are fun thought experiments, potential avenues for improvement. But this one involves a swap that could very well trigger a mass exodus of Warriors fans. Trading the iconic Draymond Green for the Minnesota Timberwolves' offensive-minded center, Karl-Anthony Towns. Yes, you read that correctly. And yes, my initial reaction was a healthy dose of disbelief, followed by a strong wave of nausea. While on the surface, a move like this might seem utterly insane. Let's reluctantly entertain the notion for a moment. We've seen teams that haven't lived up to expectations make desperate moves. Could the Warriors and the Timberwolves, two teams with recent playoff disappointments, find themselves in an unlikely partnership fueled by desperation? The flawed logic, offensive firepower versus defensive identity. The Golden State Warriors' most glaring need is undeniably a center who can both stretch the floor offensively and provide a sturdy defensive presence in the paint. These unicorns are rare in the NBA, which is why finding a solution has been such a persistent challenge. Kubicek argues that while Towns might not be a defensive stalwart, his offensive impact is undeniable and could provide the scoring boost the Warriors desperately need to alleviate some of the pressure on Curry. The proposed trade sees the Golden State Warriors acquiring Karl-Anthony Towns in exchange for Draymond Green, Moses Moody, Buddy Hield, and a 2027 first-round draft pick. On paper, the offensive upside of adding a scorer like Towns is tempting. He averaged a hefty 24.4 points, 12.8 rebounds, and 3.1 assists this past season. Imagine that offensive firepower alongside Curry and Butler. Meanwhile, the Knicks, after another playoff disappointment despite the offseason additions of Towns and Mikal Bridges, might be looking to shake things up. The rationale here is that Green would bring the defensive grit and leadership they sorely lacked, while Moody and Hield would provide much-needed shooting off the bench. Trading Towns, who had a defensive box plus-minus of a mere 0.1 this season, might be seen as a way to address their defensive deficiencies. The heartbreak factor, saying goodbye to a legend again. But let's not bury the lead here. To make the financials work, the Warriors would have to part ways with the remaining 2 years of Draymond Green's 4-year, $100 million contract. This isn't just trading a player. It's potentially signaling the end of another legendary chapter in the Bay Area. After the emotional roller coaster of Kevin Durant's departure, can Warriors fans stomach another beloved icon being shipped out, especially in this manner? Trading Green, particularly for a player with whom he has had well-documented public disagreements in the past, feels like a betrayal of everything this dynasty has stood for. It would be a slap in the face to the core that has brought 4 championships to Golden State. For many fans, Draymond isn't just a player. He's the emotional engine, the defensive anchor, the vocal leader. Losing him would tear a hole in the very fabric of the team. The glaring deficiency, ignoring the real problem, beyond the emotional aspect. Let's look at the basketball implications. The Warriors' defensive struggles have been a significant issue. Trading away their defensive quarterback, the guy who orchestrates their schemes, anticipates rotations, and holds everyone accountable for a player who is, shall we say, defensively challenged, is utterly baffling. Towns' defensive rating of 116.3 this season compared to Green's 109.6 speaks volumes. Replacing Green with Towns would not solve any of the Warriors' defensive woes. In fact, it would likely exacerbate them. The idea of Towns anchoring the defense is, frankly, terrifying. The Warriors would become even more reliant on their offensive firepower to outscore opponents, a risky proposition in the playoffs against elite defensive teams. This can't be it, right? Sanity must prevail. While the desperation to win now is understandable, this proposed trade feels like a massive overcorrection that addresses a perceived need, more scoring, while completely ignoring a critical weakness, defense. Trading Draymond Green for Karl-Anthony Towns would be a gamble of epic proportions, one that could very well backfire spectacularly and leave Warriors fans with a bitter taste in their mouths for years to come. Let's hope this remains just a hypothetical scenario, a trade simulation gone wrong. The thought of Draymond Green in another uniform, especially in exchange for a player who doesn't address their fundamental issues, is enough to make any true Warriors fan feel genuinely ill. What are your thoughts on this absolutely wild trade proposal? Am I overreacting, or does this sound like a recipe for disaster? Drop your opinions in the comments below. I need to know I'm not alone in thinking this is a terrible idea. And hey, if you're as stunned as I am, make sure to hit that like button and share this with other Warriors fans who might need a dose of reality right now. Let's talk about this.